What is up, everybody? Welcome to Last Call A's post-game show. A's wrap up their series with the Astros tomorrow at 1:05 p.m. as they face the Astros in Game 3 of the series. Series is tied right now at 1. A's obviously took Game 1 11-4. Astros returned the favor today 11-0. And tomorrow is a beyond an important game with Jacob Lopez going for the A's and Lance McCullers Jr. going for the Astros. Without a doubt, an important game. Which brings me to, what is your goal for the A's? In general, in everything. The season, the move to Vegas, as a fan. What do you want to get out of it? When you break things down into pieces, it gives you perspective on where we are as an organization, or where the A's are as an organization, and where you are as a fan. And based on where they're going in the future. Bill struck out 13 times, gave up 13 walks, 1 hit by pitch, just like last year. Yeah, today was beyond frustrating, Bill. I don't need to tell you that, right? 11-0. And when you look at the box score, you see Nick Kurtz hitting .83, Langoliers 300 coming off that incredible start. Today he was 0 for 3 with 3 Ks. Austin Wins 167, Soderstrom 207. Carlos Cortez sitting 400, gets the least amount of at-bats. Brett Rooker 133, Jacob Wilson 212, Lawrence Butler 200, Hernandez 125, Max Muncy 300, Jeff McNeil 150, Denzel Clark 150. Gets even worse when you go to the ERA, right? Morales at 12.27, Alvarado at 9.64, Hogan, who got hit today. I don't even know why they brought him in at that point. 4.50. Medina, 2.25. Michael Kelly, 6.23. To fire Kotsay. Well, I don't think that's going to happen, Bill. I see your point. I think a shakeup needs to happen. I want you to remember something, and I'm going to say this numerous times during today's show. Bill, you've been a fan for a very long time. Lifelong, I'm sure. And every manager that has come before Kotsay, every player that has come in and come out, I want you to remember something, guys. They are all visitors in our home. They all come and go. And at the end of the day, we are the only ones home. They are all visitors in our home. Now, and that goes for ownership as well. Since Oakland, Charlie Finley, Walter Haas Jr., Lou Wolf and John Fisher were the same, basically. And, of course, now John Fisher solo. How do I miss Steve Schott and Ken Hoffman? And the relationship between fans and ownership since the beginning of time has been rough. What's up, Ultramodern? Nick, the big Ricky Kurtz down to the 3-hole stop the clown show as far as him leading off. Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of dysfunction with regard to this organization as a whole. 11-0. I said yesterday that it was important for the A's to back up yesterday's win. They had a pitcher that was hittable. At-bats were non-competitive. Defense was awful. And it looked like a team that was unmotivated. I was happy in the post-game. Kotsay said, hey, we need to grow up a little bit. For me, that came rather late. But when I think about this A's team and the future of this A's team, I think about the goals I set for myself as a fan. And what do I mean by that? The biggest controversy right now with regard to the A's and their current team on the field, obviously, is Denzel Clark in center field. And today we're seeing Max Muncy defensively. Max Muncy defensively has been an issue. My goal as a fan is for this team to play important games in August and September. In order to do that, we must be maxed out. Let's say you no longer want Denzel Clark in center field and take somebody else. Henry Bolte, Zach Geloff. Well, we're probably going to get a better bat. But I feel our wins are going to be limited to a team right below 500 or around 500. It goes the same with Max Muncy. We got to take the good with the bad. We got to play to what this team potentially can do at its best. Meaning, if we're not playing important games in August and September, I don't care if this team wins 80 games or 70 games. It doesn't matter to me. The goal at the end of the year, at the start of the year, is to compete for a playoff spot. That is the goal every single year. I don't care what kind of team you have. Competing for a postseason spot gives you a chance. And as fans, that's all we want, is a chance. As players and competitors, that's all they want, a chance. Because anything can happen in the postseason. And that's what makes the season fun. Competing for a postseason opportunity. What do you got, Bill? What I don't get, why Kotsay has Barlow warming up in the third and yesterday Kelly warming up in the fourth. I thought these guys were our late inning guys. There's really no rhyme or reason right now, Bill, to the bullpen. In other words, what I was really surprised at was Alvarado was the first one out of the bullpen today. Alvarado was in the fourth inning. That's what was surprising to me. And why is Hogan Harris in the game when the game's already at 7-0? I thought Hogan Harris was a high leverage guy. Hogan Harris threw 34 pitches today, Bill. So now we can no longer use Hogan Harris tomorrow in a high leverage situation because of the amount of pitches he threw today. Butler leading off, Kurtz batting third, Wilson fourth. That way a contact guy, Wilson is hitting with the runners in scoring position. Listen, whatever you do after, as long as Kurtz isn't leading off, I'm okay with. I guess we got to take this baby steps at a time. The energy was rocking yesterday with regard to the A's. Sutter Health Park was rolling. 13,000 fans. It was unreal. But right now, my biggest concern, and this is going to piss off a lot of people, but hey, what else is new, right? Alienate one more person. I'm going to tell you what I think. This fan base is struggling. It is a fan base like I have never seen in my life. What do I mean by that? The fan base you see right now is a facade. It was the same situation in Oakland. Oakland had some hardcore fans, 10 to 15,000 hardcore fans. Hardcore. The problem in Oakland, like it is now, there was never enough. Let me give you an idea of what I'm talking about exactly. And this has gone on for years. Locked On Mariners. Locked On Astros. Two podcasts of two teams in the American League West. Has as much viewership in one episode than A's Cast has in a month. We do not have fans. I think Vegas is going to be great. I think it's going to be exciting. I think it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be something absolutely spectacular that no one has seen before. But let's be honest. Let's be honest, guys. Vegas is Dodger territory. That's where the loyal fan base is. Right now, the most activity this fan base has is in a Twitter chat headed by Athletic Rants. At all hours of the day and night, there is 20, 30 messages talking baseball. That's what it is right now. That is the max. That is the ceiling for this fan base. Until Vegas, until the fans that currently have left Oakland but are still fans come together, we're not there. Granted, there is a Facebook group, has 6,000 members. Vegas A's, it's called, I believe it is. Las Vegas Athletics. I'm a member of that. People who put it together do a great job. Vegas A's 28 and RD Moss. Unbelievable job. But it's not active. It is, but it isn't. It isn't active for 6,000 fans active. Has a good number. To build this fan base to where this fan base needs to be, it needs to be done old school. One by one. BBQ, what do you got? When should Jump get the call? Jump's not ready yet. What did Jump do yesterday? Let me check out his numbers, BBQ. Bill, you think Fisher will trade Wilson Soderstrom once their contract gets a little higher? Seems like a Fisher type of move. No. Fisher's a businessman at the end of the day, Bill. And how you pay contracts is not money with what you have. It's not with what money you have today. It is with what money you have tomorrow. And the A's going into Vegas financially will be there. Vegas is running this franchise like arithmetic. Simple as that. And that is business 101. You do not spend money you have today for future assets. You spend money you have tomorrow. That was the problem in Oakland. They never had money tomorrow. Ultra. The fans will come if this offense lives up to the hype. Kurtz, will it? Will it, Ultra? I don't know. I think the fans will come, but will they come? Do you know what I mean? Will they come like Ultra comes? Will they come like Bill comes? Will they come like BBQ Slayer comes? They'll be there. They'll be in the seats. They'll be cheering. But will they really come, Ultra? Will they Ultra come? You seen an X-Post showing Kurtz changed his swing from last year? I have not. Did he? I think Kurtz will figure it out. I think that the problem with this team runs deeper than just Kurtz's offensive deployment. Kurtz goes absolutely ballistic today. Is it going to change anything? But at the same time, let's keep everything in perspective. Break the season down into sectors. I've talked about this before. 8 15-game seasons. You hit the goals for each 15-game sector. You're going to be playing important games the last 42 games of the year. The goal for this 15 games was 6-9. The A's right now are at 2-6. We need 4 more wins. 4 of our next 7. It's not undoable. And you really look at it right now, what did we hope our record would be today? At the end of the Houston series, the goal was to be 1, 2, 4, and 5. We win tomorrow, we're 3-6. Not too bad. MLB full swing. I think Kotsay left Morales in too long. No, 77 pitches. Still would prefer Kurtz hitting third. Hopefully we see some improvement in offense. Listen, at a certain point, these guys are professionals. They got to stand on their own 2 feet. They got to show some toughness. Morales was at 77 pitches. He needs to figure it out. I don't care what his age is. If we're going to use age as an excuse, he should not be up at this level. Send him down to AAA. Send him down to AA. We cannot use age as an excuse once you reach the MLB level. If you are, then they're not ready. Billy, here's the truth. Both Severino and Springs are nothing better than number 3 starters at best. Yes, you're right. The rest are number 5 starters at AAA starters. I want to go AAA starters, long relief men. Yeah, some of them, sure. I get your point. And I would even make the argument that Springs and Severino are no better than a 4 or 5 starter on championship teams. Yeah, I agree with you. Springs and Severino hasn't hurt us, though, yet, Bill. That's not the issue right now with this team. Did you check on Jump's performance and how did Leo do in the opener? I have not. I have not checked on either performance. You all over me about that, aren't you? Let's see. Let's see what Gage Jump did yesterday. You're throwing me off here, BBQ Slayer, but for you, we're going to get this done, pal. Game log. What do we got for old Gage Jump? Gage Jump went April 3rd. Now, he's only had 1 start so far, guys. Only 1 start. Pitched 2 1/3 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 earned. I do not believe he started tonight, as far as what I know. Only 1 start so far. And Leo's been holding his own, as far as what I know. Guys, I've talked about on several occasions culture. Culture is important at all levels. Every single level of your life, the culture around you is beyond important. Your family, where you work, and that goes for a professional team as well. We've all been in atmospheres where when you walk into the building, it stinks. You don't want to be there. It affects performances. Right now, I think the A's culture, their building, stinks. It's embarrassing, Billy Ball for life. Beyond embarrassing. It's embarrassing. When people talk about ownership and the move from Oakland, people say, even Kyle Morrison, the new host of Locked On A's, I've been on more of ownership side, which is a bunch of BS. All I've done in the situation with regard to the A's and their move is tell you the truth. What happened, what transpired, and let you make the decision on how you feel. No one's really asked, hey, how do you really feel about the organization? BBQ Slayer. It's got to be Kotsay and his staff then, right? I think, BBQ Slayer, when you don't know what is going on with an organization, like we don't, right? BBQ Slayer, I don't know you from Adams. And I don't know what you do, where you work, what's going on. But I will say this. When you work for an environment, when you work for a place, it starts from the top and rolls all the way down. Fire Kotse, Kron, hire Booney as the manager and BBQ as the hitting coach. Togetherness is important, fellas. And right now, this team doesn't have anything of it. Back to my point. What do I feel about this organization, the A's organization as a whole? I think they suck. I think the culture stinks from top to bottom. And I've thought that from the beginning. Why they left Oakland or going to Vegas, that's two different things. I'll give you an example, guys. When I was at Locked On about 6 weeks ago, the host of Locked On Astros said, hey, you know what you should do? Call the A's media department and get some fun things for the fans. Maybe some shirts, softballs, whatever it may be. A's stuff to give out to you guys. Most hosts do it, and their media department sends them something. I go, really? So, yeah. Here's the media guide. Send them an email, give them a phone call. I go, all right, absolutely. No problem. What do I got to lose? I called. I emailed. 4 times. I finally got a call back. Guy said, hey, sorry, going to spring training. Why don't we set up a call next week? Awesome. Emailed him 3 more times. Nada. And what was I trying to get? Things for you guys. BBQ. In real life, job performance is bad when the managers let them get away with it. There is a fine line. First of all, BBQ, we don't know what's going on behind closed doors, right? We don't know what's going on behind closed doors. Is it all on Kotse? I don't think so. We don't know. I think decisions being made are organizational decisions. What we do know is that Kotse does have the clubhouse. How that clubhouse smells, I'm not sure. Boney. MLB shouldn't let the A's play in a minor league stadium. Should have forced them to stay in Oakland until 2028. Well, what happened there, Bill? Come on, what happened in that situation? That wasn't on the A's. That wasn't on MLB. What did they want? What did the city want? They wanted $72 million to squat at the Coliseum. Come on. Stop it. Stop it. That's why Sacramento happened. That's why Sacramento happened. $72 million to squat at the Coliseum. Come on. And then the next argument is, well, he's a billionaire. He can afford it. Okay, someone send me $300. You can afford it. It's the most ridiculous argument. That's what happened. $72 million to squat at the Coliseum? Knock it off. I agree with you, Bill, what you're saying, but no one knows the truth on why they actually left the Coliseum, why they left Oakland, and why they went to Sacramento. Everyone thinks it's a TV deal. That was part of it. That's why they didn't go to Vegas immediately. I would have done the same thing. You would have done the same thing too. I'm still missing somebody stepping up in the dugout. Thought it could be Rooker or Shea, but they are passive. We don't have a leader. We don't have a leader. This whole franchise has not had a leader for years. How much blame do the players get in poor performance? They are not the ones not getting it done. It's it done. All of it. The players get all of it. As far as the blame. Do we sit here and say, at the end of the day, yes, it's on the players. There's no question about it. But if we're management and you have your best sales individual doing customer service and your customer service person who can't sell ice to an Eskimo trying to sell, management's not putting the players in the best place to succeed. There's a reason why when Rafi Devers, one of the biggest sluggers in baseball last year for the Red Sox, got traded from the Red Sox started to win. Culture matters. When you go to work and like working with the people you like, and you want to win for them, and you want to do something good for them, and you want to see them succeed, that matters. This is no different. This is no different. This organization as a whole needs to figure it out. So what would you do to change the culture? You know what I would have done last year? I would have done two things. Right off the bat, MLB full swing. Last year, when Emerson made the comments about enabling Luis Severino in the mound, I would have fired Emerson on the spot and say that is not tolerated here. This year, in spring training, I would have made a message to players that are on the borderline. This is open competition. For example, the competition with Denzel Clark and Henry Bolte. This is open competition. You earn it. You earn what you get. Nothing here has been earned. Right now, this franchise and the players they have are being treated for what we think they will be. They haven't earned anything, guys. They haven't earned anything. They've shown flashes of being great. They've shown 2 months, 3 months of being superstars. They have earned shit. Earn it. You don't give a guy like Denzel Clark an automatic roster spot in spring training. Earn your spot. Now he's there. That's the decision you made. You live with it. That's number one, MLB full swing. 2, the pouting, the body language that Lawrence Butler showed last year. He should have been sent down. I don't care if he signed an extension. Kotsay did that in 2024. He should have done that last year. That shit's unacceptable. You are a professional player. Act like it. They need to be held accountable. You need to coach them. At the end of the day, they're 24 years old, 23 years old, 22 years old. They don't know any better. It's the coach's job to teach them because they've been there. Stop kissing their ass. Stop enabling them. When Severino comes back and complains about the mound, call him out. Stop wanting to be everybody's best friend. The fans that are here live this team day in and day out. And if you haven't seen the episode yet of Weekend Walk-Off, I encourage you to watch it because Casper gets it. He talked about having that hurt when the A's left Oakland. But you can't hide emotion when it comes to sports. You still love them. You still care for them. You still hurt when they lose. You still feel something. Or an Andrew, big stud, and Rob were talking about it. No one puts the work in anymore. We got a guy like Sam, when stats meet instincts. Or where stats meet instincts. Talking about cutters, doing that research. Has A's Cast done anything like that? No. Lazy. It's a shit show. You heard me. Ultra modern. Morales was looking at the bullpen for help for 3 innings. Ultra. Then he shouldn't be up, bud. Send him down. If that's is that the case, send him down. Send them down. Okay? I have no sympathy. I have no poor him. I have no coddle him when you are in the major leagues. Send him down. If you're not ready, go down. The buck stops here, and you're getting paid the salary to do so. Salary matters. There is expectations when you are getting paid a certain dollar amount. Not one bit do I feel for that comment, Ultra. Hey, Ultra, that's not on you either. I'm not putting that on you. I hear what you're saying. If he's looking for the bullpen, if he doesn't want to be on that mound, then the kid's not ready. Someone else is hungry and wants that spot. Send him down. If that's what he was doing, maybe I'm just desensitized to a lot of things. A lot of things I am with regard to this franchise. What are you expecting from tomorrow's game? You know what I'm expecting, BBQ Slayer? I don't care if they win or lose. I'll be honest with you. I want to see a team that's pissed off. I want to see a team that got socked in the jaw. And I want to see a team that fights back. I want to see a team that holds one another accountable, no matter what that is. I want them to show the same emotion some of the diehard fans show watching this team. Because they got knocked on their ass today. And their effort so far this year has been heartless. Each of them needs to look themselves in the mirror and find their heart. Flat out. Instead of Brett Rooker going on the Sacramento morning show, kissing their ass, talking with them, the same group, the same radio show that's badmouthed the A's for over a year. Give me a break, man. Have some pride in who you play for, and have some pride in the fans that have loved you for years who watch you. Punks. Who's the last good leader that this team had? You know what I want to see? You know who I want to see? I want to see Brandon Inge. I want to see Brandon Inge. I want to see a Brandon Inge come to this ball club. That's who I want. I want to see this thing get shaken up a little bit. I want to see somebody that disturbs the peace a little bit. I want to see somebody that calls other players out. That's what I want to see. I want to see what Russell Westbrook did to Matt George. Hey, Matt George, get that damn A's hat off your head. Punk. You've been calling out the A's for over a year. Bad-mouthing them. Now you have the A's hat on? Shut up. Get out of here. Jerk off. Who's the last good leader was this team had? Was Melvin Solid there? I'm pissed, guys. I am pissed. Why are you so pissed, Booney? Let me ask you something. Do you think Jason Burke, who's another little fraud, would get away with his articles if he wrote for the Yankees, for the Cubs, for the Phillies, for any other Major League Baseball franchise? A guy who's openly badmouthed this franchise? You think he would get away with those articles in those fan bases? No. But here he does. We repost it, heart it, like it. Give me a break. I liked Inge. He had some good moments, even though he wasn't the best player. Bill, I expected Lopez 4 1/3, 5 runs, 4 walks, 91 pitches. We need an outing out of Lopez. We need someone to step up. I don't care who it is. Vegas 2028. Keep it real. I'm tired, guys. I am tired. I'm tired. Because what I do know is guys that cover the team on this place, on this network, listen, not another voice covering the A's, including A's Cast, and their corporate takes have anything on them. Not one person has put in the work straight A's has. Not one person has the knowledge Stud and Rob do. Not one person has talked about the analytics Budget Baseball has. Get out of here. Not one person has talked about tendencies like the Habit Hunter. Why is the best coverage of the A's coming from here? It shouldn't. It shouldn't. The A's should have the best of the best, and they don't. They have people that aren't even A's fans. If I were them, if they're smart, they should hire Big Stud and Rob tomorrow for All Along Green. That's what they should do. Straight up, too. I don't listen to A's Cast. Can't. I can't. Why? I think, I like Townsy. But I tell you this much. They got nothing on the people that have their podcast on this network. Straight up. And I got nothing on them either. And that's the reason this got created. They're that good. Be a fucking break. Larry Bowa would be great. Yeah, like 10 years ago, Bill. Like 10 years ago he would. It's different now, man. It's different now. Everybody's sensitive, dude. You can't say a bad thing about anybody. I say Dallas Braden, shouldn't have his feet up and be more in the game. He's pissed. Give me a break, dude. And I think he's great. I've defended him as well. Martin Gallegos asked the most cupcake questions you could imagine. Can't say that either, right? Sensitive. Too much sensitive. This franchise and these players might be the softest players I have ever seen. Soft as Charmin. Soft as Charmin, man. 11-0. Not even fight, man. Not even fight. They're going to have to figure it out quick, guys. They're going to have to figure it out quick. Salty Tom. How are you, buddy? Good to see you, man. Hi, Booney. Any idea or theory why the A's always seem unprepared for the start of the season? Well, you look at last year, Salty, and through 36 games, we were 20-16, right? So, Salty, we talked a little bit earlier about how I felt like culture should be changed. And I think right off the bat with a young team, you say, hey, best players make the squad. Best players make the squad. You have your, hey, listen, don't get me wrong. You have your Kurtz. You have your Jacob Wilson. You have your Soderstroms. Certain guys you know. The rest of the guys, guaranteed nothing. Salty, who do we have really on this team that has done something? Who are we? Who are we? In this era, in this culture, in this time of, wow, look at how good he was for that couple months. He's going to be something. And we praise him. And we put him up. We look at him as a god for a while. He's going to be the best thing coming. And we tagline him. The future. The franchise. Everybody we have right now, Salty, is who we think they will be. And I love them. I think they're going to be great. What's the key word I just said? I think they will be great. And you have to start somewhere young. But when a guy like Denzel, who played 30, 40 games out there, is already given the job at center field, when you have young bucks going after him, that's not the message, man. When Lawrence Butler had a terrible year like he did last year, your job's not secure, son. You better do something. Competition breeds success. We're too relaxed. You have veterans like Christian Walker and Yordan Alvarez that have been that guy. There is a different feel when you see them and you see an A's team. Those guys' togetherness, Altuve, the toughness they bring, you knew they were going to bounce back today. You just knew they were going to bounce back today. I think it starts in spring training, Salty. I think that goes with the coaching staff as well. And I think that goes with everybody in the franchise. If you're guaranteed work, guaranteed a job, you stop working as hard. How Scott Emerson still has a job, I don't know. They know they can get away with it, absolutely. A's cast after the game, call-in show are a bunch of kiss asses. I don't even want to ever hear about Road Trip Mike's cats again. Booney crashing out, maybe. This team reminds me of a softball team. They are not prepared. Seems like a 6:40 game. They get there at 6:30. Mr. Boat Shoes, you were at the game today, and I've never seen a team with a bad body language before. The Morales experiment is not good. Is it fair to be critical of Severino? A's aren't paying $20 million for this. Of course it is, man. But Salty, there's one thing in my time as an A's fan, I've always loved. That the fans, the biggest thing they've been, and it's almost happened by accident, Salty. And here's what I mean. The A's obviously haven't opened up their payroll, their books to a lot of people. What to me the A's represent is the individual at the end of the line that has never gotten their shot. Because we've all been there. And I've talked about this before. That's why I love the A's. Because the A's are a mirror of who we are. Because we've all been told at one time or another that we're not good enough. We've always been told somebody else is better. Because they got the resume. They got the 5 stars by their name. We've always been the individual at the end of the line that hasn't gotten a chance. And when we do, lightning happens. And that's what's special about this franchise. This franchise, this team, is more than a team. It's a symbol. It's a symbol of who we are as people. That's why I love the A's. To me, they're more than a baseball team. They reflect who we are as individuals. The unchosen. The individuals that have to fight for everything they have. That nothing is guaranteed. And we've won like that. We've won like that like no other, Salty. From 2000 to 2006, second best record in all of baseball. If I told some stranger casual fan off the streets that they think I'm crazy. 11 postseason appearances in 2000. The late 80s, early 90s speak for themselves. So do the 70s. And I guess, Salty, what really pisses me off is that this franchise is looked at as a loser. And when we look at it as a loser, it almost represents what we're trying to do as people. And it's untrue. It's untrue. I'm saying Severino needs to be more of a veteran and a leader in the room, not complaining about Sacramento. Yeah, 100%. That was last year, right? And Emerson needs to be an absolute coach with regard to that and coach him up rather than enable it. Billy, this team reminds me of the softball team. I got to that in a second. We're ready. So, but the thing with the A's, they're so damn arrogant about everything. I remember always listening to Bill Moriarty, right? Bill Moriarty would talk about the number 10 prospect last year. I still remember him praising Rodney Green. 4th round pick out of Cal. Once Rodney Green goes into a slump, Bill Moriarty don't talk about him anymore. It's the craziest shit I've ever seen. I absolutely have a huge issue with this franchise, the organization from top to bottom. Will I root for it day in and day out and hope they've turned it around? 100%. Absolutely. Things need to change, though. Like they do in any organization, guys. Like they do in any organization. The shit that's tolerated is the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life. How Jason Burke gets away with the shit he writes and how he covers the A's is one of the nuttiest things ever. How Matt George wears an A's hat as he has a guy on his show bashing the A's is crazy. Kick rocks, Matt George. And you know the translation of that, son. Love the new show, Boney. Thank you, CC. Muncy looks very uncomfortable at third. But look, you're right. CC, you're right. And I talked about this at the top, right? He looks uncomfortable. There's no question about it. But in order to reach a goal, and I think every fan goal should be for a team is postseason. I don't care where your team is. If you get to the postseason, there's so many damn teams that get to the postseason now. What are they taking, 12 total? A little less than half the teams? That should be the goal. Max Muncy gives us a ceiling. Who we replace Max Muncy with, let's say an Andy Ibanez. Yes, we'll get a better glove at third base. He'll look more comfortable. But we won't have that ceiling. I think you just got to ride with him. And I think you got to ride with Denzel's bat as well. Excuse me, with him in center. Great point, CC. Why not let Muncy play second base? I don't know if McNeil can play third, but why not try it, right? What I wouldn't mind seeing is, what was I thinking about earlier? This would only work with lefties. You put Ibanez at third. You put Ibanez at third. Muncy at second. And then I guess you can go either. Cortez needs to get more at bats as well. 5 all year. You see, that's a kind of what I'm talking about too. It's like the guys that are earning their spots are not getting their opportunities. Whatever, guys. It's been a long time since I've had a rant. CC, I feel Ibanez has earned a lot more playing time than what he's been getting. But you got to remember, though, right? CC, he's a lefty killer. If a lefty's not on the mound, he's not real. He can't really hit righties. His big thing is against lefties. And the A's so far has faced Sale. He was in the lineup against Sale. The night before, I forgot who he faced in Atlanta. He was in there. He played. So he's been in the lineup when a lefty's been on the mound. Bill, Geloff was a natural third baseman. Why did they move him to second? Who do we have at third at that time? We moved him at second. Who was at third at that time? And 23. Why am I not remembering? Come on, one of you guys can remember. Who do we have at third? I'm not going to think of it right now. Geloff needs to hit. Yeah, I know what he's doing in Vegas. He's done better. I mean, but Seth Brown treated Vegas like freaking, it was like he was playing Nintendo. Like he was playing PlayStation. Sorry, Nintendo's old school. I mean, he hit like 600. Then he got brought up and hit like 110. Guys, a huge jump. Huge jump from AAA to the majors, especially when you're talking about Vegas to the majors. And that was the thing last year about Morales, and I said it. I said Morales was not ready. It's the first one to say it because he had a mid-4s ERA in Vegas. And he came up, his first outing wasn't good, then he absolutely dealed. I had to eat my words. Kevin Smith, was that who it was? Bill, you're always good at that stuff. Guys, check out the other shows, okay? You can never watch me again, I'm fine with it. But check out All on Green. Check out Habit Hunter. Check out Where Stats Meet Instincts. Check out Budget Ball. Hey, and do me a favor, and if you want to know what it's about to be an A's fan, if you really want to know real emotion into it, first show he posted on Friday, go check out Weekend Walk Off. Those guys are amazing. Senior, our pitching is really bad. Which hitting, pitching, whatever you want it to be. We got to figure it out. I thought Morales was going to be legit. We all did. Ultra, love the new show, dude. Keep up the good work. I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for coming by, guys. Go check out those shows, guys. They're the real deals. They're real A's talk. They know their stuff backward and forward. They put in the work. I got nothing on them. They're that talented. A's Cast has 0 on them. Go check out their shows. If the A's were smart, they'd hire those guys. Those are the type of guys that should be covering the A's. Real talk about people who actually know it. I want to tell you something again, fellas, before I leave. This is going to be the truest thing you ever hear. Players come and go. Coaches come and go. Owners come and go. Broadcasters come and go. They all come and go. At the end of the day, everybody on the field, in the front office, within the organization, are visitors in our home. They are all visitors. They are all guests. This is our home. This is our team. We'll always be here. Never forget that, guys. Never let people get away with talking poorly about this franchise and what you've believed in for so long. It's our DNA. It's who we are. It's what represents us. Don't let them get away with it. I sure haven't. Take it easy, guys.